Alrighty, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and ask that we read the Civitan Creed, if that's okay, just to make sure that we remember our purpose as Civitans here in the world to help us remember every part of the creed here, as I feel it's very special and it's near and dear to my heart, certainly. I am Civitan, as old as life, as young as the rainbow, as endless as time. My hands do the work of the world and reach out in service to others. My ears hear the cry of children and the call throughout the world for peace, guidance, progress, and unity. My eyes search for others to join in the fellowship and service of Civitan. My mouth utters the call to daily duty and speaks prayers in every tongue. My mind teaches me respect for law and the flag of my country. My heart beats for every friend, bleeds for every injury to humanity, and throbs with joy at every triumph of truth. My soul knows no fear but its own unworthiness. My hope is for a better world through Civitan. My motto, builders of good citizenship. My belief, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. My pledge, to practice the golden rule and to build upon it a better and nobler citizenship. All right, guys, this next part of the meeting here, I do want to bring up our mission, vision, and values so we could show our special guest, Mr. Mark, here about something we spent some great time on. Dan was the member here who helped us out quite a lot with this. He's like, hey, we need a mission, vision, and values. Yes, International has one, but we need to write some for our club. So our mission here at the City of Vision Civitan Club of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, in the United States of America, is to build good citizenship in Sandoval County and its environs by volunteering our time, treasures, talents to improve our community with an emphasis on helping people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our vision, a community of endless possibilities for people of all abilities. Our values are service, community, friendships, responsibility, compassion, and inclusiveness. All right, guys. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read a quick bio about our special guest, Mark Eisinger, the Civitan International Executive Vice President. So Mark has been with Civitan for quite a long time. He is actually one of our past international presidents. He served as the past international president during the year of 2009 through 2010. And he began in his role as executive vice president on September 25th, 2023. Mark has a proven track record of helping those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and he brings a wealth of knowledge from his business experience as well, with in-depth knowledge of a Civitan as a member and a leader for over 30 years. And that is coming from the wonderful, kind words of Joanne O'Toole, our past international president. Mark enjoys time with his family. He loves his family. He's definitely a family man. Man, there's the list here goes on and on about his wonderful accolades and his achievements. I am so proud to introduce to you guys on this meeting call Mark Eisinger, the Executive Vice President for Civitan International. Mark, the show is all yours.
Great. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for having me this evening. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Thank you, Matt. So I put together this special PowerPoint presentation, and it's about 20 slides. And, you know, Matt said I could have about 20 minutes. So we'll see if a minute per slide will work. That's kind of my rule of thumb. But thank you again, Matt. It's 8 o'clock at night my time, so it's a little bit later than it is there in Albuquerque. But I'm excited. Albuquerque is my destination in about, exactly 1 month to today. I'll be on a flight, Southwest nonstop flight to Albuquerque. So my little agenda here today is who are you? And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And then the next part would be talking about Civitan International's 2024 focus. Next part will be Civitan is growing and rebuilding too. I'm going to mention the check presentation that we made to the Research Center in February during our All-In Summit. Our convention, you know where that's at, along with a couple of major important things that we have going on there. And then some board meeting highlights from our last meeting, updated policies and the bylaw amendments that will be voted on at convention. And then there's a new directory available of Civitan scientists that I'm going to share with you. And then we'll have a little time for Q&A.
Who's that guy? I remember him. He was president in 2009, 2010.
So, yeah, this is another photo of me. And Matt was like, who is that? Whoops. That was my picture when I was president in 2009, 2010, when Dan Brown and Tony Cook were my co-governors, just paving the way for a future president there. But I joined Civitan in 1989, so it's 35 years as of May. In Las Vegas, I was a charter member of the Las Vegas Civitan Club. And while in Nevada, I built quite a few clubs, also built a club in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and then West Virginia a year ago this coming August. I've recruited over 150 Civitans, and I became EVP, as Matt mentioned, in September. So I brought a lot of experience of Civitan, but in my professional life, I was a banker for 25 years with Wells Fargo. New Mexico was part of my territory at one time. Even though I lived in Las Vegas, I worked for a church for 8 years as the church administrator. And then I worked for Blackbaud, which was a nonprofit software company, as a consultant for 8 years. So all of that rolls up into what I'm doing today, and that is running the staff of 10, and they are a great team. Staff of 10 plus Dan Brown, that's on our interim CFO volunteer. But this year we're focused on 3 specific things. We're speaking about growth and expanding our reach. We're looking for ways to find other ways to find revenue to support our mission. And then finally, we're hoping to be able to get our unity more solidified so that we can operate as a more non-dysfunctional family. Civitan is growing. Yes, these are the 6 clubs that are chartered or at charter strength. So the first 5, Kindness Crew, Michigan, one in Rome and Palermo, one in Alabama, and one in North Carolina. Those are all chartered. And then the Milton Alpharetta Civitan Club is charter strength, and it will charter August 1st. These are the other ones that are in process. Lakeland Civitan Club in Florida, Archdale Trinity Civitan Club, again in North Carolina, Frederick Family Civitan Club in Maryland, Rowan Family Civitan Club in North Carolina, and the Carroll County Civitan Club in Maryland. And I'm going to emphasize family because what we're doing this year as well is to try to come up with new types of Civitan clubs. And in August of 2023, my wife Denise and I were able to create the very first family Civitan club on a pilot that the board approved. And this board approved up to 10 of these that can be built. So we've got one that's been chartered in August of 2023. And here's a picture of one of our first projects once we chartered. That's the Friends Family Civitan Club banner that we received at convention last year. And then here's a picture of a project that we just did. We planted flowers for an elderly home care center just a couple weeks ago, and it was like 95 degrees out there. It was kind of horrible. But do I see Kim back there too? Hi, Kim. Hi. Good to see you. So the family concept is the whole family is part of the club, not just mom, dad, or whatever. The whole family is part of the club. And we involved the kids. You can see there's a little girl right there that was involved with the project. A lot of kids were involved with this project this past weekend. They're involved with the planning of the projects, with the actually doing the projects, and we specifically look for projects the whole family can participate in rather than just the parent or parents going out and doing things while the kids go to soccer or whatever. And we found that there's really a demand for this, especially for homeschool families and other families that want to do things together. The pandemic really brought families together, and after the pandemic, they still want to do things together. So we found that this is a great model, and we're finding great interest in a couple new clubs that we're working on today. We're rebuilding as well. In fact, we have a new system, a new process, if you will, that we've come up with helping Civitan clubs get into rebuilding mode, and then giving them the resources and the support staff support at International to help them rebuild. Give you an example, Greenville Civitan Club, although they have 30 members, they realize they are aging out, they don't have leaders, they needed help. So they went into the rebuilding program, and in a nutshell, Jolie Abrams, which is our membership growth specialist, is meeting with them at various different steps in the process and building it similar to a brand new club, but also utilizing their existing membership. They joined the Chamber of Commerce in Greenville. They are starting to work on that, and they are recruiting members. I'm not sure how many they've recruited so far, but they are rebuilding. Austell Civitan Club has already got 9 new members since they got in the rebuild program. And the Southern Nevada Civitan Club, which I helped charter years ago as the Lovely Ladies Civitan Club, decided to go co-ed, and they have about 15 members that are supposed to join the club now that they've gone co-ed. Some of them are probably husbands of the Lovely Ladies, but yeah, it's going to be great. The other thing we're doing is we've put together a very professional toolkit. We call it the Club Building Toolkit. However, we have a lot of clubs that are excited about it and they want it. It includes this big, huge 10 by 3 banner that goes perfectly on a 10-foot tent. It has this pop-up banner that we have available, a tablecloth, new brochures, these cups, and I'm using one today, a little pop-up banner. This is a 2-sided tabletop banner here, and pins and that sort of thing. And all this is available in the supply house. Individual items if you don't need everything, or you can get all of them, and it runs about $600. It is expensive, but we have one of these in every region. So if you are able to reserve it, just check with your director, region director, Grace Farmer, and she would be able to connect you up. Maybe cost a little bit of postage, but otherwise it's a great professional look. Here's what it looks like on the tent. No, the tent's not included, but available on Amazon for about $130. But you can see how the banner in the back just fits perfectly, and I just use zip ties to attach it to the tent. This happened to be a very windy day, so we had to make sure that tent didn't fly away. And then here's immediate past President Joanne O'Toole at a disability expo with using the toolkit. And you can see there's a little sign-up sheet right in the middle right there, and that's where they signed up people to get interest or more information about Civitan. In February, we had a board meeting and the All-In Summit. And at that summit, Dr. Craig Powell, who's in the middle there, received this check that was presented with immediate past President Joanne O'Toole, specifically because this is money we raised in fiscal year 2023, as well as Dee Hutzler, our current president, and also Bill Garrett from the FCIDD, that's the Foundation for Children with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, was there. He, along with Joanne, who is on their board, also were there. We presented a check for $373,400. Again, that's with the help with the FCIDD match. That surpassed our $1 million pledge over 4 years to the research center, but we made it in 3 years. So that was an incredible accomplishment. We've now raised or donated over $21 million since we started giving money for the Civitan International Research Center. All In Summit this year, 2024, raised $41,300 for the Research Center. And there's a check that they're presenting during that summit. There was 28 junior Civitans at the summit, and that's at least a third more than last year. We're hoping to grow that number to 100 junior Civitans in the next couple years. They've already got a keynote speaker for next year. It's Nick Tokman from the Discovery Channel fishing program on there. And you know about the Albuquerque Convention, August 4th through 7th. Matt's excited about that. We all are. And then, as you can tell, the Together We Soar, what we're trying to do is bring our unity theme into this convention and utilize or use the hot air balloon as a symbol for that unity. These bubbles, in my opinion, are coming into, unifying into the hot air balloon. Some highlights that I'm excited about is the Breakthrough Golf Tournament this year. And this is, I believe, I'm going to give Dan the credit. He contacted Special Olympians and asked if they would be able to participate in the Breakthrough Golf Benefit this year. And so we went out and looked for sponsors. And we have, at this point, 38 Special Olympians and their, can't remember what they call their coaches or whatever, are going to participate. Unified partner. I always forget that term. Unified partners are going to participate with about 18 golfers that we have. Actually, and we may have to be up to 20 with that new golf team that just signed up. I've been advertising the Embassy Suites because it sleeps up to 6 per suite. You could have, in some cases, you could have your whole club stay there all together in the same suite. Full breakfast is included, evening hospitality. So it's one of my favorite hotels, the Embassy Suite brand. And then Walk and Roll for Research. We are going to be in the, how do you pronounce that? Tigway Park in Old Town. As you know, it's between 2 museums. But the biggest thing for people from out of town, at least, we've got a shuttle bus that takes off from Embassy Suites to Old Town from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. to be able to take the participants back and forth, and they'll have time to shop, go to the museums, the shopping, and as well as restaurants down there before going back to the service projects, which we're having 3 big service projects. One in-house, where you can actually go and purchase some items that will be put together for a group. I can't remember everything, so bear with me. And then we've got a food bank that we're going to be taking a bus out to. And the third one, I'm going to have to go on this website. Those were just announced. So
I can do it. So Mandy's Farms is going to be, we had Amy talk to us a month or so ago about Mandy's Farms, and it's a farm where they teach people with IDD how to be farmers, and it's a full working farm, and we have ability to take up to 50 people there and actually do some chores around the farm. And the second one, the food bank, is at Red River Food Bank, and we've volunteered there many times. And the third one, the in-house one, is where we are putting together school backpacks for Albuquerque Public Schools special ed students.
So those are some great. We had surveys in the past that says, our service projects were too quick, well, I didn't get a chance to participate, and all these different things. So this year we made an extra effort to be able to do it, and really appreciate Dan and probably others there that have helped us find some great service projects for this year. Every member gets a vote this year. That's another new thing with the new bylaws that were approved last August. Whether you're in person or virtual, you're able to get a vote as long as you are registered for convention and you are from a club in good standing. Workshops and speakers, we've upped our game on that. We're going to have a growth track, and then we're going to have a general interest track. And we're still narrowed down, I think, one or two more of those, and we'll be announcing those. More fellowship and networking. We have a table topics networking way to be able to get everybody together and be able to, sit at a table and 20 minutes later go to a different table and learn about different things, as well as networking with Civitans. Of course, our one of our greatest things is Dr. Craig Powell, Executive Director of Civitan International Research Center, is coming. They're bringing a lot of giveaways to give out during that session. I understand you guys are doing a host hospitality suite, which we have not had in some conventions, so we're excited about having that. And I hear Matt is out trying to solicit donations for that, so that's great. We are voting on 3 bylaw amendments, actually. We have one amendment that is going to remove the bylaw that says the president and president-elect of International has to be from different regions. And in the case that used to say in different districts, well, as you know, we've really compressed it. There's only 7 regions now. So if we can only have president and president-elect from different regions, it kind of takes away some of the potential candidates. So we're asking the delegates to be able to remove that. And then the other 2 is it has to do with dues. One is to increase the minimum dues from $150 to $180, which hasn't been raised in many, many years. And then the other one is to increase the regular dues by $2 a quarter. That raise hasn't been since 2016. And of course, you know how inflation has gone, as well as we have quite a bit of remaining operating costs that we just can't cut anymore. So we need to have just a little bit more so that we can go ahead and continue to provide all the staff support and services that we provide to clubs. In a lot of clubs, it's not going to change your dues that much. If some clubs charge enough that they cover the dues for regions and international and some own club dues. So some clubs aren't even increasing or passing it on to the membership. So please do discuss that in your club to determine if it's even going to impact your club members. Our strategic planning sessions were phenomenal. We had an outside person that helped us with this to identify. We have 2 superpowers. Our local community service is one, and number 2 is groundbreaking research. The combination of service and research is we stand alone. There's nobody else that's out there doing that. And so we're going to capitalize on that. You can tell by our growth, we haven't had growth in the U.S. for many, many years. Even before COVID, we didn't have much growth since 2017. So we really have to emphasize that. But we also have to look at retention and rebuilding and recruitment in existing clubs. So we're not ignoring that, but we want to emphasize that we do have to make an effort to be able to grow this organization. And revenue, as I mentioned with the increased dues, we got to stop going back to Civitans to get money, whether that's for research center and just this and that. We need to find other money, other grants, other corporate sponsorships, other people's money, if you will, to be able to help fund the organization so we can be sustainable for many, many, many years to come. And then finally, trying to figure out the formula for a good convention that people will attend. We have 180 coming for in-person in Albuquerque and about 53 online. and our budget is for much more than that. So for us to have a fantastic convention, we need to have the attendance numbers up. So we're really working on how do we get the convention numbers up. Post-pandemic could still be an excuse, but I think we're also looking at the unity. We got to get our unity back together again. We've got to be able to make the conventions worthwhile opportunities. The welcome party is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for everybody to be able to see that welcome party. We have a new honor key that was approved at our board meeting. It's a region honor key, and that'll be available when you submit your applications for Honor Club and other projects in the impact areas. One of the new ones will be a region honor key that you'll be able to submit and nominate people for. Atlanta will be at our convention in 2025, so we're bringing it closer to home, the headquarters home, that is, and we're hoping to use that as a test to see about the attendance numbers at convention as well. And then finally, as I mentioned before, club rebuilding policy was expanded, and so that built the foundation for Jolie to be able to create a new rebuilding process so that we can rebuild clubs with the same focus as we have in growing brand new clubs. And I'm almost at the end here. I wanted to share with you, we now have the Civitan Scientist directory is now live. And this directory can be found on the Civitan website under the Civitan International Research Center. I got the abbreviated version here. But as you can see down below, it has all of the different things that Civitan scientists are studying. And you can look through this. I've highlighted Alzheimer's because my mom passed away of Alzheimer's, autism, which our family has had that, intellectual disability as well, multiple sclerosis, and I'm also, my nephew had a brain injury, but it wasn't traumatic. But they're looking into brain injuries as well. And I'm going to pause the PowerPoint for a second and go out to, so this is when you go to that link, you get to the Civitan International Research Center web page on Civitan International's website, and you go to visit the CRC Scientist Directory. That'll pop over to the Civitan International Research Center website. And the one I wanted to show you here is, let's say, for instance, you're looking at autism. You click on that, and down below it shows you the scientists, what they are researching, each one of them. So you can go out there and you can find exactly the scientists that are working and what they're working on and everything. And you got to be proud. I mean, there's 130 Civitan scientists out there, and that's funded by us, by our dollars and cents that we send to international to be able to donate, 21 million over 30 years. Cassandra Newsom is also the associate director of the research center, so she's number 2 for Dr. Craig Powell. So she's an excellent person that is participating as a Civitan scientist as well. So I do ask you to take a look at this. You're going to see, Dr. Caroline Richter, by the way, she was the speaker for the Junior Civitan International Convention, which was a virtual convention a couple Saturdays ago. And she was an incredible, she looked at ADHD in a different way and showed what people with ADHD, what their the good thing, the creative things, the skills they have that other people don't have. And so really changing the minds of junior Civitans and others to think about people with these, disabilities, you might say, learning disabilities perhaps, but they have special skills and abilities that other people don't have. So it's really a neat way to look at it and look at it in a way to make it so that they're more accepted in our society, more inclusive in our society, and so forth. And then finally, I want to ask if there are any questions. I know I went through quite a bit. I can back up on a certain slide if you have a question on a particular one. But yeah, do we have any questions?
So, quick update, Mark. We're up to 46 Special Olympian golfers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. With the South Carolina clubs just sponsored 2 foursomes. So.
Oh, I thought we already included those, but we didn't.
No, those were not included yet. So those are new ones.
You know, I have to share with you too. Last year, we kind of thought that the breakthrough would be its last year because the declining number of Civitans that were participating, and this year Dan had a hard time negotiating because for 20 golfers, no golf course wants to close down the golf course. Well, now we're going to have 65 golfers on the course.
I think it'll be at least 70. I think we'll be at 70.
I mean, that is just incredible. And I guarantee you, this is going to be an annual event. This is a tradition that starts in Albuquerque and is going to go for years and years to come. To be able to really have a breakthrough tournament that utilizes utilizes our mission, includes people within our mission. That's just incredible. Thanks, Dan. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Now,
well, if not, I'm going to say you rock. And there's my patch. I'll try to get you one of those patches. I found one, so I'll get that one of your patches.
We have that on our banner, I think.
Oh, you do? Okay. There you go.
You spoke to our club via Dim way back, probably in 2009 or 2010.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. So we were kind of way ahead of the curve way back then. That we were doing online speakers and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Well, we chartered the first online Civitan club called Civitan Accelerated in 2010 too. So that was we were ahead of our time. Yeah, exactly.
Mark?
Yes.
When are you going to build one in Kentucky?
When are we going to have a convention in Kentucky or build a club in Kentucky?
Build a club.
Well, we have some clubs in Kentucky.
You do?
We do.
How about Harrisburg, Kentucky?
Howardsburg?
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg. I'm not familiar with Harrisburg, Kentucky. I helped build one of the clubs in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. But I'd have to look that up. I'm not sure if we have a club there, but we are looking for other areas to build clubs. So maybe you can shoot me some information about that, especially if you know some people there.
I live in Kentucky.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, Cody's our token Kentucky member.
That's right.
Okay. Well, and I see the golden, the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge behind you, so I wasn't quite sure where you were at.
He lives in Harrodsburg, Kentucky.
Harrodsburg.
Yeah,
Okay.
Harrodsburg, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, he's about an hour outside of Lexington. Do you have that in Lexington?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Give me more information. We'll see if we can get get Jolie on that.
Thank you, Mark.
Absolutely, Cody.
Goodness, what an awesome presentation. I tell you, I did not know you were a member, sir, of the Las Vegas, Nevada Civitan Club. I go to Vegas every year myself, and
I saw your Facebook
oh my
post.
goodness, I did not know that you were a member of a club out there. I have always wanted to go meet Civitans out there when I'm there for the week on vacation, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I can connect you to the lovely ladies now, Southern Nevada Civitan Club, and they can have you over for the meeting.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. Yes, I'll be back next year in 2025, so I'll get you my dates when I'm in town.
All right, sounds good.
Does anybody else?
I
So
have-
thank you, everybody. I'll turn it back over to Matt.
I have
Wait.
a question.
Oh, I'm
Shirley's
sorry.
got a question.
Yes, Shirley?
It's a quick one. I saw that you had a new organization in Palermo. Is that Palermo, Italy, or Palermo, Sicily?
Yeah, it's Italy.
Okay. I'm going to Sicily, and I wondered.
Yeah, we have a lady by the name of Adele in Rome who has built the YP Civitan Club in Rome. And then I forgot to, I was going to mention this, and I told Matt I would. I forgot. This year, we have had emails coming to us saying, I want to join a Civitan club. Do you have a club in this city? And a lot of times we have to say no. And that's what we used to say. No, I'm sorry, we don't have one. Well, I've got them going and saying, no, we don't have one yet. Would you like to help us build one? And it's worked. We've started to build clubs in places we have not built before because we had somebody. In fact, one of them was in Milton, Georgia. And the person says, yeah, I would like to build a club. Let me call the mayor and we'll talk about it. She was friends with the mayor, and now they're up to 20 members. And that was just since March that all started.
Oh,
Cool.
I just had an email Monday that had an organization that's in Alabama saying that they want to have their people join and listed like 20 different cities where they want to join Civitan in all of those different cities. So, I mean, there is a demand out there that we have not seen or we have not reacted. I'm not sure which, but now we have seen it and we're reacting to it instead of just, passing the buck or waiting till we have more people or whatever. And what we do is we get 5 people together. Once they have 5 people, then that's when we really start helping them build that club so they can get to 10, 20, and so forth. It's exciting.
So Mark, you can direct them to us also if they don't have a club in their city. We are hybrid. We're online and in person, but mostly hybrid, mostly online. We'll be glad to welcome people. That's how we got Cody.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
Yep. And we have a website and we got a club phone number. So all they got to do is just give us a call or send us an email or something. We'll get a hold of them.
That ain't
So
funny.
right now we're in Frankfort, Kentucky, Hopkinsville, Owensboro, and Winchester, Kentucky. Those are our clubs in Kentucky at this time, Cody.
Hey, Mark, you know what? That's funny because I'm from Owensboro.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was born at.
Okay. Wonderful. Is that far away from where you live now?
Yes, it is.
Bummer.
I'm in,
Okay.
I'm in the middle of the state.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, nice meeting everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
You
you
rock.
for your time.
You rock.
Nice meeting